I discovered my scholarship was actually my dad's monthly payments to keep me quiet. For 4 years at Princeton, I thought I was there on academic merit. The Princeton Excellence Scholarship covered everything: tuition, room, board, even spending money. I worked my ass off maintaining a 3.9 GPA, convinced I'd earned my spot among the elite students who actually deserved to be there. Every family dinner, I'd thank my parents for believing in me. I'm so grateful for this opportunity, I'd say, while Dad would just nod awkwardly and change the subject to literally anything else. Mom always seemed weird about it though. She'd get this uncomfortable, almost guilty look whenever I mentioned the scholarship, like she wanted to say something but physically couldn't get the words out. I was proud as hell. My high school guidance counselor said Princeton was a reach school for someone from our small Ohio town. Most kids from my graduating class went to community college or straight to work at the factory, but somehow I'd made it to the Ivy League on pure merit. The scholarship office would send these fancy embossed letters twice a year congratulating me on my academic excellence and continued funding. I kept every single one in a leather scrapbook my mom bought me freshman year. My friends were jealous. Most of them were drowning in student loans while I was living completely debt-free in an expensive dorm. But something always felt slightly off about the whole situation. Other scholarship recipients I met had ceremonies, networking events, alumni dinners, and mentorship programs. I never got invited to anything like that. When I asked the financial aid office about it, they'd give me vague responses like, different scholarships have different requirements, or we'll look into that for you, but nothing ever came of it. My roommate Jessica had the Gates Scholarship and was constantly attending events, meeting other recipients, doing community service projects. Meanwhile, my scholarship seemed to exist in complete isolation. No other Princeton Excellence Scholarship recipients, no program director, no annual requirements except maintaining good grades. Last month, I was home for winter break helping Mom organize tax documents for her accountant when I found a manila folder labeled College Fund tucked behind old insurance papers in her filing cabinet. Inside were bank statements from Dad's business account showing monthly transfers to Princeton University, $8,000 every single month for 4 years. The transfers weren't going to any scholarship fund or financial aid department. They were going directly to the bursar's office under tuition payment, private. My stomach completely dropped. I checked the dates on every statement. They lined up perfectly with every semester I'd been enrolled. Fall 2020 through spring 2024. Never missed a payment. My hands were physically shaking as I called the Princeton financial aid office from my childhood bedroom. Hi, I'm calling about my Princeton Excellence Scholarship. I need official verification for graduate school applications. The woman on the phone paused for what felt like forever. I'm sorry, what's your full name and student ID number? After I gave her all my information, there was this terrible silence. Then she said very carefully, ma'am, I'm looking at your complete financial aid record right now. You never received a Princeton Excellence Scholarship. Your account shows private family payments covering 100% of all costs for 4 years. No scholarships, no grants, no financial aid of any kind. I felt like the ground had literally disappeared under me. That's completely impossible. I have the official letters. I have documentation. I'm not sure what letters you're referring to, but I can guarantee there's no scholarship record in our system under your name. When I confronted Mom with the bank statements spread out on the kitchen table, she completely broke down, tears streaming down her face, shoulders shaking. She admitted she'd been lying to me for years about Dad's affair, the woman he'd been cheating with for over a year. She worked in Princeton's admissions office as a senior counselor. The real story hit me like a freight train. Dad got caught red-handed when Mom found explicit text messages on his phone. To keep Mom from filing for divorce and taking half his successful construction business in the settlement, he agreed to pay for my entire college education as part of their private reconciliation deal. The monthly payments weren't tuition. They were essentially hush money to keep our family together and prevent a messy public divorce. The scholarship letters were completely fake. Mom whispered through her tears. Your father had them professionally printed at his office print shop. He even created fake letterhead. He said if you ever knew the real truth, you'd never speak to him again. You deserve to feel proud and accomplished. I immediately called Dad, my voice shaking with pure rage. So my entire Princeton degree is just your guilt money for cheating on Mom? There was this long, painful pause. Then he said very quietly, no, sweetheart, your grades and test scores got you accepted to Princeton. I just made sure money would never be the reason you'd have to leave. You earned every single A, every Dean's List recognition, every academic honor. I just paid the bills so you could focus on learning. But the scholarship was completely fake. I wanted you to feel accomplished and independent, not like charity or like you owed us something. You worked harder than anyone I've ever known. You deserve to feel proud. I'm still processing this complete mess. 4 years of believing I was some kind of academic prodigy specifically chosen by Princeton for excellence, when really I was just the kid whose Ivy League education was secretly bought with affair money to cover up family drama and keep everyone quiet. At least I earned every single grade honestly.